Thank you for watching the electronic course registration for current freshmen and rising sophomores, starting at the Claremont High School website. We click on the counseling link, click on the counseling resources for freshmen, and that'll bring us to the counseling resources, the registration page for current freshmen and rising sophomores. Before you start an electronic course registration, we would recommend first reviewing the parent-student presentation for current freshmen. That's under the video section on the left-hand side. That will give you a really good idea of the information students and parents need to know when selecting classes as a sophomore, and information on college and career planning for life after high school. In the middle is our Class of 2023 Frequently Asked Questions section. This section has a lot of the questions that you may already have answered. There's also a link right there in the center where you can submit, a new FAQ. And on the right-hand side are your links for registration. Important note down here at the bottom, before you access the electronic course registration, first you need to log into your Google Drive on the computer that you're using to complete registration. Doing this gets you logged into Google, which is what's required when you complete the electronic course contract. Back up to the links at the top. The very top, you have the graduation UC NCAA requirements. If you're wondering what it takes to graduate, what it takes to get into college, what it takes to play college athletics, this is a document that'll help you see all of those in one sheet. Below that is the course description book. That's a PDF version. So if you're looking at what exactly is involved in taking ceramics, click on that. You can read the course description to understand that stuff. Below that is a sophomore electronic course contract. That's what we're going to go over right now. Below that is the paper form of the sophomore course contract, PDF version. And I would recommend taking a look at this before you go to the electronic version, because this has all the information on it that you'll need, and even filling this out before you complete the electronic version. We do not need a copy of this. We do not need this signed back to us. So if you click on the sophomore electronic course contract, it takes you to this page. Again, I am logged into Google Drive, and that is required in order to access this page. So if you get an error, go into another window, open up Google Drive, log in your student account in Google Drive, and come back in to this one. So the first question is your ID number. And this is probably the most important thing because this matches you to our system. So in order for us to be able to put your course requests into the system, we must have your correct ID number. Make sure, double check that this is correct. Your last name, your first name, your phone number. This is the phone number for students. Oftentimes, counselors have questions over the summer that we need answered, and we want to make those phone calls and get your opinion or get your options, and we need to have the correct phone number for the student. Right below that is a question if you have a 504 or an IEP. If you don't know what those are, you don't have one, just select none. Moving down here, we have 3 start times at Claremont High School. You have a 6:50 a.m. start time with an end time of 1:56, 7:55 a.m. with end time at 2:55 p.m., and an 8:54 a.m. with an end time of 3:55 p.m. Keep in mind, our first period and our 8th period offerings are limited. Our 8th period offerings are very limited. So even if you do select either a first period start time or an 8th period end time, 3rd period start time, you may not get those start times based upon the offerings of Claremont High School. In social science, you have the options between world history and honors world history. English is the same, sophomore English and honors sophomore English. For math, there are quite a few more options this year. Students who are currently in Integrated Math 1A should be selecting 1B. Students in Integrated Math 1-2 will be the students who select Integrated Math 2-3. If you are currently in Integrated Math 2 and earning an A, you can also select Enhanced Integrated Math Pre-Calculus. For science, if you're currently in biology or zoology and botany and you're doing well, and you are passing Integrated Math 1 or higher, you would select chemistry. If you're currently in physical science, your next course selection will be zoology and botany or biology. For world language, you would select a world language here. If you're moving on a world language, select that second or third year. If you do not wish to select a world language, click this box down at the bottom. And you'll make an additional elective choice. So let's take a look at our electives here. You have two columns. You have primary choices and alternate choices. You'll select one primary choice for each elective spot. Every sophomore will have one elective spot. If you're not taking a world language, you will have two elective spots. So let's say I want to get my physical education out of the way and be done with that. If I scroll down here, I see bodybuilding, badminton, and volleyball. I make my primary choice as bodybuilding and my alternates as badminton and volleyball. Again, you're going to select 2 to 3 alternates for every primary choice. Now, I also said that I wasn't going to take a world language, so I want to go ahead and take a second elective primary choice. And let's just say I want to do marching band, concert band with a backup of guitar and a backup of wind ensemble. Once you've selected all your electives, all your core courses, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You'll have 2 more questions here if you want to provide any additional information to this form. Good example of this is if I'm an AVID student and I want to let my counselor know I'd like to take 7 periods. That is allowed for AVID students. I would type that in here. At the bottom, we have a little acknowledgement box to check. Once you're done with that, you click Submit at the bottom, and you are done with a course contract.